Hello everyone, welcome to another Wednesday night live crafting with Michelle Greck here, Stampin' Up demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. How is everybody tonight? Let me just make sure that I can going live in the right place. Okay, yes, how is everybody? Been a beautiful day here in Melbourne today. I hope you all got to get outside and enjoy some of the sunshine. I actually went to the hairdressers today, so spent much of the day inside. Didn't get to enjoy as much of the day as I would have liked, but I could see that it was really lovely outside, and my trek to and from the car was sunny, which is always nice when you're getting your hair done, isn't it? So that you don't get your hair, you go and have your hair done and come out and it's raining. So yeah, hello, hi Di, hi Inga, hi Michelle, how are you all? Thanks for stopping in and spending some time with me tonight. So I posted up earlier a pic of some products that I'm going to be using tonight, and a bit of a sneak peek and a bit of a guessing game about what I might be doing with those products. So tonight I'm actually going to be making this card here, which is a shaker card using the new Fitting Florets Collection, which is a sneak peek of a collection which will be featuring in our January to June mini catalogue coming out obviously in January 2023. But demonstrators were able to order this collection early, and so then it will be available to customers on the 1st of November. So next month you will be able to, if you're a customer, you will be able to get your hands on this collection. So it features, a stamp set, a set of dies. Actually, it's two stamp sets because there's also a Christmas sentiment one that goes with this as well. And then there's some embellishments as well, and some designer series paper. Now I showed all of this last week, so if you joined me last week, you would have seen me showcase that collection, and I'm going to be using it again tonight because I just love it so much. So this is the shaker card. It started out when I was designing this. My aim was to actually design a Christmas card because I really like this paper, and I thought it would work wonderfully for Christmas if I coloured some of the berries in red. But of course, my creative process as I started to put it all together, I actually decided that I would go with a birthday card instead. And I'll talk to you when I'm working through the card about how it actually mutated from a Christmas card to a birthday card. Hi Margaret, how you going? Hi Lynette. Oh, Sue, you're back from your walk. Did you get your fish and chips? Hopefully you did and enjoyed your walk on the beach. All right, so let's get started on the card. So we're going to be using let me just pop these off because we're going to be using a couple of the oval frames tonight and just a couple of the different dies. So we're going to be cutting some foliage with these two and using these ones to do our shaker card. Okay. It's quite warm in my room tonight. I think the afternoon sun beating down on that window was made it a bit warm in here. And of course, been so cold for so long, haven't been used to the warmer weather. But isn't it nice to actually feel that warmth and that summer's not very far away? Okay, so let me bring in the supplies. So we're just going to start with a soft succulent card base, just a regular half an A4 sheet. And I've already cut this down to size, so we're going to be using this paper here, which of course has this pattern on the back. And this is how I ended up with a birthday card and not a Christmas card. So I started out with these two designs, so the soft succulent card base and the the DSP and thought I'll make a Christmas card. And then, like I said, it mutated into a birthday card. So we're going to start with, I've already cut these down to size. So this is a 10 by 14.4 centimetre piece of DSP, and I've cut a piece of just basic white that's exactly the same size. And what I'm going to do, first of all, is I'm going to use this die here, the oval one, to just cut an oval right in the middle of that to form the basis of my shaker card. But first of all, I'm just going to, I like to just, this is just a really old adhesive from that Stampin' Up used to carry, which they don't carry anymore, unfortunately, which is a removable, so it's only temporary adhesive, just so that I can keep those two pieces together. Now, if you're game enough, actually, no, what I might do, change my mind. I'm actually going to stick it down. So I'm just going to use my change of plans. Nothing like a change of plans, right? So I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal, and I'm just going to go just along the edges. I don't want to go in the middle because I'm going to be cutting that bit out, and I don't want those two pieces to be stuck together. So I'll just, and I think I might do a lot of talking to myself here, don't I? All right, so I'm actually just going to just put those together like this, just to make sure if I do it flat to the table there, I can actually make sure that it's nice and square. So now I don't actually have to use the temporary adhesive. And I actually like when I'm doing a shaker card and I'm using DSP as the top layer, always like to put a piece of cardstock behind it, because the DSP is a little bit flimsy, and I just find that that gives it that extra support. So now I'm actually going to pop that die in the center there, and I'm just going to run that through my die cut machine and cut that oval there. So just give me a sec while I do that. Okay, so now there I can take out the pieces from that. Okay, so what I'm left with is this piece here, which is the positive space from this die, and also there will be a white piece at the back, which I can separate. And you can see that that's actually still got, it's all still got the design that features on the die, because I think that the DSP is thin enough that it will actually do the embossing and the cutting right through both. So this one we're going to keep because we're going to be using it. This one we can put aside and use for another project. And then we have an oval, which you can actually use for another project. So that would actually make a nice, you could make something just with that in there and stamp your sentiment on there, and there you've got the basis for another simple card. I'm just going to put those to the side. So like I said, this is where my where it started to mutate, because I had this piece laying on my desk and then I saw it there and it was flipped upside down, and I thought, oh, I really like that. But then I decided that that didn't really work for Christmas, so that's where my birthday card was born. Anyway, enough of that. So we have our the basis for our shaker card there. Now what I'm going to just do here is I'm just going to lay that on my card base, and this is just to help me line my pieces up. And I'm going to take a pencil and I'm just going to draw a very soft pencil line just around there so that I know where to stick my pieces in and make sure that they line up with the top there. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and create the frame for the shaker card. So the next thing we're going to need is a piece of window sheet, which I know I had here somewhere. So just a piece of clear acetate. Now, Stampin' Up sell the window sheets, but this is actually the backing from the stamps that come when we get our stamp sets. So let me just show you. So you know when you get your stamp sets, you have this piece of acetate here, and you also have a flimsier one. So, and they're actually mounted on this sheet when you get them. So I take them off that sheet and put them onto my stamp case with the images there on the back. And then I keep the flimsy one in here to cover and protect my stamps. And then I store these just in an A4 clear pocket. Sorry, A5 clear pocket that I then use when I need acetate. I mean, I do have some of the window sheets as well, but I waste not, want not, isn't that what they say? So the only thing about this is you will notice that these can be a bit dirty. Like if you've had your fingers all over them, then they will be a bit smudgy, and you don't want that on your window sheet. So before I use them, what I actually do is just give them a bit of a clean with a microfiber cloth and some rubbing alcohol. So I use this one, the Isocol, which you can just get from the supermarket or the chemist, and I just put a few drops on it and I clean it up with a microfiber cloth, and then I have a nice clear window sheet. So I have a window sheet here, and I've cut that down to size, so that's going to fit behind my oval opening there, so that will stop my whatever I use to fill my shaker card from coming out. So we'll just pop that on. Hi Sam, how you going? Okay, that's neat. So now again, I'm just going to do the same as I did before. I'm just going to pop that down there so that that's nice and square. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to build this up so that we have a pocket virtually underneath that we can actually put our sequins. I've used sequins in here, but you could use anything. I think last week when I showed you when I cut out using this largest oval die, so this one here, I had all of these hearts left over after I cut it out. Now these are something that you could actually put in there, or you could put little beads. Anything would work in there. Okay, so I'm going to be using some of our adhesive strips. I find that they're really good for this. So they're nice and long. So I'm going to peel one off. What I'm going to do is start by just bending that right around the edge of the oval there. So this is what's going to raise up our window and keep our sequins inside. So it's going to create that pocket and stop our sequins from falling out. Now the good thing about these long strips is that they bend really easily, so you can work them all the way around. Just keep working them around until you get to the end. Then I'm just going to take another strip, and I'm just going to cut off sort of about about what I'll need. I'm just going to make sure that they butt right up together, because you don't want any of your sequins falling out. Then we're just going to go around here until we meet the other end, and then just snip it off. And then we're just going to go along and put some of these along the rest of the edges of the card. Now, I don't use dimensionals here because this foam strip is a little bit higher than dimensionals. So if you use dimensionals, then it's going to tilt and not sit flat. So I just prefer to just cut off some of these strips and use them around the edge. So have them in a little bit from the edge of the card, because you don't want to be seeing them from the side, poking out. So make sure you put some there at the sides as well. You just want to make sure that it's nicely supported and that it's going to sit. Oh, sorry if you can hear that dog barking. That's our next door dog. Our dog's curled up on the couch, I think, or maybe even on one of the kids' beds next door. I did see him on Sam's bed when I was passing by that room earlier. Okay, so now you can see that when that sits like that, it will sit nice and flat. Could probably do with, oh, that should be all right. Okay, so there's basically what's going to form our shaker cup. Okay, so I'm on the big screen tonight, am I, Michelle? That's a bit scary. Lucky that you're only seeing my hands and not my face. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm actually just going to colour these berries. Now this paper here is one of the coordinating colours is Blushing Bride. So I'm going to be using a Stampin' Blend, but we don't have Blushing Bride in the Stampin' Blend. So this is one of the natural tone blends, the number 1000. So they don't actually have a name per se. They come numbered, and they come in pairs, I think, in the catalogue in sort of mediums, light, mediums and dark natural tones. So this is the number 1000, and I think it actually, you can see when you actually use it that it is very close to the Blushing Bride. So I think you can use it as a substitute for that. So I'm just going to go back now and I'm just going to colour my berries. Now, like I was saying before, originally I was going to make a Christmas card and I was going to colour these berries in red. But you could colour them in any colour with whatever coordinates with the colours that you're using in your project. So it really makes those berries stand out. Now, if you wanted some extra sparkle, you could go back with some Wink of Stella and colour over the top of that if you wanted some to add a little bit of glitter to it. Okay, so now we're going to go back to this piece, which is going to have our greeting on it and our card base, and this is going to go right in the middle here. And this is where having that oval that we drew there before lightly in pencil will help us centre that inside of that frame perfectly. So I'm going to be using the Wishes for a Beautiful Birthday. and I'm going to stamp that in Evening Evergreen. I really love the nice large sentiments in this stamp set, and also let's hope that that extra ink doesn't, fingers crossed. And I'm going to stamp up a little bit towards the top, so I'm not centering it right on that oval because I'm going to be putting sequins in the bottom. I don't want to cover up that sentiment with my sequins, so I stamp it a little bit towards the top. You've got a bit more room at the bottom for your sequins. So now I'm just going to stick that straight down to the card base, and I would recommend that you use liquid glue when you're doing this part, because you want that to be stuck down really tight, nice and flat, because you don't want any of your sequins getting underneath your this panel. Otherwise they'll stay there and they'll be sort of stuck. So not too much, but you want to get nice and close to the edge all the way around. Then I'm just going to center that so that it's straight but lines up. It's the beauty of liquid glue, is that you can move it around. No, I want it so that it's, hopefully that is going to work inside of my, yeah, pretty close. I'm also going to bring back in that white oval, which was from this style when we cut out the center of our shaker card, and I'm just going to put a bit of glue on the back of that. So shaker cards, I love making shaker cards, but I know lots of people steer away from them because they think they're really scary, but they're not. They're once you know how to do them, they're lots of fun, and they're lots of fun for the recipient too, I think. And you can do them, you can do them in, whoops, what have I got under there? You could do them as elegant cards, or you can do them as fun, brightly coloured cards. Lots of different things that you can do with them. Okay, so now it comes to the point where we're just going to pop our layer on the top there. But before we do that, of course, we need to put our sequins in. So I'm using these, I can't remember what they're called. Let me have a look in the catalogue. So these are from the annual catalogue, and what's the bet I can't find them now. Can't quite remember the name of them. But they come in obviously in a pack of 3, and there's the 3 different colours there. Let me just see if I can find them. Here they are. So they're on page 141 of the annual catalogue, and they're these ones here. They're called For Everything Fancy Sequins. So you get the 3 packs, and there's about 20 grams per container, so that's 60 grams worth of sequins. And as you can see, they're really pretty. So these are the blue ones here. You can see those in the camera. And there's a range of pearls and sequins, and so there's gold ones here. There's some glitter ones as well. Lots and lots of different types of elements in there. That one's also paired with some gold mini sequins as well. And this is the green one. Great for your Christmas cards. And then, of course, this is the pink one I'll be using tonight. So what I'm going to do is just bring that in there and set it flat. Open this up. Now I have a little spoon, a tiny little, like a little mustard spoon. And I'm just going to spoon out just a couple of spoons worth don't want it too much. You don't want to overload it too much so you can't actually see your sentiment, but you want enough in there that you can actually see them when they sit down towards the bottom of the shaker. Now we'll take the backing, just move that slowly out of the way. I'm just going to take the backing off our adhesive strips. So what did everybody get up to today? Pop in the comments what you did to enjoy this beautiful sunny day. Oops. I was trying to get the backing off, that was already off. So I'm pretty much being relieved of playing nurse duties now, although Matt's still not 100% recovered. He's still, even though he's mobile, he's actually not, like he can't walk very far, but he can walk far enough to get to the kitchen and make himself a coffee or some lunch or whatever, which relieves me from having to do most of the nursing duties that I was doing before. So now we're just going to pop that straight on over the top and make sure that we're lined up over the top of that oval. And that we're square on our card. That's pretty good. Now we give it a good press. You actually went to the office. Okay. Well, I'm actually going to have to go to the office next week. So I know I've been saying for weeks and weeks, I'm going back to the office. But so many things have happened that have, thrown a spanner in the works. But actually, when I go back to work next week, I will have to go into the office. So there you go. There's our shaker, our sequins, all contained inside of our window and all lined up nice and evenly there inside. So we want those to go to the bottom, pretty much. And then we're just left with decorating the inside. Now, sometimes you will find that you might get a bit of static, and I probably should have done this before I stuck it all down because I can't do it now. But you can actually, either with a microfiber cloth or with your embossing buddy, so your the one that you use to de-static your cardstock before you do embossing. So this one here, if you actually rub that over your paper and on the inside of your window, that will actually reduce the amount of static that you get. Oh, that's a good idea, Marika. You put the sequins on the initial window sheet, cover it with another window sheet, and then layer that on the card base. Okay, I've never tried that, but that sounds like a really good idea. I might try that the next time I make a shaker card. Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and decorate the front. And so I've gone ahead and cut one of the larger decorative oval frames. So this is this one here. So this will cut out that decorative frame, and it also cuts the inside embossed oval, but we're actually not going to be using that here. So that's another element we've got for another card for another day. And I'm just going to put some, I could have cut that from adhesive sheet with adhesive sheet on the back, but I wasn't, because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with that centerpiece. I didn't really want to waste my adhesive sheet before I knew what I was going to do with that centerpiece. So I find it's just as easy to pop a little bit of Tombow, and I've got one of these squeezy little bottles, um, which I think I got from online somewhere from one of the craft places, that has one of those little needle tips on it, and I've decanted some of my multi-purpose liquid glue into here. I find it's just easy to be a little bit more precise, and the bottle is nice and soft to squeeze, so I just find that that's easier to get just a little bit out. It means I don't have glue oozing out everywhere. And it's just got a little, the little silicone lid that goes on the top. And I find I don't need to, it doesn't dry out, and I don't need to use a pin or anything to clear the top. It just works really well. Hi Sandy, how you going? Need to worry about being late. Like, that's why we have, first of all, we have a replay, so you can go back and have a look at what you missed later on. And you'll want to go back and have a look at this one, because we went through all of the instructions about all the tips and tricks on making a shaker card. So there you go, there's our frame around the outside. And I've gone ahead and cut one of these, which is the same image I used on last week's card from the pattern paper. And that's the one that you can actually cut out with one of the dies. It is the only one that actually works with a die. The rest of them, if you want to cut the flowers out, you'll have to fussy cut them. But these are all, there's a couple of different colours in this flower in the designer series paper. So I think I used the polished pink one last week. So we're just going to pop that one sort of on the edge there. But what I did find when I popped that on, I don't know about you, but I thought that the flowers weren't actually, they were actually a little pinker than the Blushing Bride. So what I did was I just went back with my blend and I just coloured over the flower. So just straight over the top. So I just found that actually made it a bit more the same tone as the designer series paper. I just found it was a little bit pink for my liking, but hey, you know, that might not have bothered you. Oh yes, Mel, I've actually used I've done the cello bag ones before too. I think what do they call them? The faux shaker cards. So you probably could do that if you wanted to behind that window. You could use a cello bag and put your sequins in there and then attach it, make sure that it's closed properly. The only thing about cello bags is I just find that I just worry that they're not quite as strong as the acetate, and then of course if they get pierced, then all of your sequins are going to come out. So we're just going to pop that there. I've just gone ahead and cut a little bit of the greenery from Evening Evergreen and some in the Blushing Bride. So I'm just going to pop that on with a little bit of glue. Doesn't cut out the blue coloured same ones as well. Not quite sure what you're saying there, Marika. So here I just only really need to just adhere the bottom half. I don't really need to worry too much about the top. I like that to sit a little bit loose. I'm just going to work out just where I want to pop that. And then for my flower, I'm actually not going to put any dimensionals on the back of that because this has already got a lot of dimension on it. So if you were posting that, so, oh, sorry. Oh, I think I might have swallowed a bug. I'm just going to grab a drink. Hang on a tick. Oh, I don't know what that was. I think something went down my throat. I think it might have been a bug. Oh, I've had dinner, but looks like I've got a little bit of extra fibre. Yeah, so this has already got quite a lot of dimension, so I didn't really want to add any more. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on just on one side of it where it's going to attach to the card, not to the window sheet. Pop that. I mean, you could actually put some there if you underneath if you wanted to and attach it to your window sheet, but I actually don't think it's really necessary. Mel, dessert. Well, yeah, not what I would quite order for dessert if I was ordering some, but yeah, we'll call it dessert. So there you go. There's our shaker card. Now we're just going to finish off the inside. So I'm just going to stamp one of the other sentiments on the inside. So I'm using the for a special person on a special day. Just going to stamp that in Evening Evergreen. Oh, I'm surprised you don't have those sequins, Rochelle. I would have thought they would have been one of the first things on your list. They are really pretty though. And I'm just going to stamp, just going to use one of the flower stamps, and I'm just going to stamp that just down the bottom here in the corner of the card, just for a bit of interest. And that's pretty much our inside finished. So while I'm doing that, I just wanted to remind everybody a bit of housekeeping. So a reminder about my Boughs of Holly Christmas class, which is happening on the 19th of November. So that's a Saturday afternoon. It's a 3.5-hour class. And I'm actually running that at an external venue. So it's at the Endeavour Hills Neighbourhood Centre. And it's going to be 3.5 hours of Christmas crafting using the Boughs of Holly suite. It's $70 for the class, and that includes the Leaves of Holly stamp set. And we'll be doing lots of projects on the day, plus we'll be having some afternoon tea. So the details for that are right here on my Facebook page. There's an event I've created for that class. So if you're interested in that, you can pop over to the event and have a look. There's a form there for you to register and details about how to make your payment. Also, yesterday, the Stampin' Up clearance rack was updated. So there are new products well, I'm not sure how much of them are still there, but there's heaps of new products, or there were heaps of new products which were added yesterday with some crazy discounts. So pop on over there and have a look if you want to grab yourself a bargain. But if you see stuff there and you want to order it, you need to do it straight away, because those sorts of things don't hang around very long. What else have we got going on? Oh, of course, there's the Starter Kit Plus promotion, which is running for the month of October. So until the 31st of October, you can purchase the Stampin' Up Starter Kit, which would normally, well, you can get it for the normal price of $169, and you're able to customize that with $283 worth of product. So you don't have to sell or anything like that. You can just be a happy shopper. And once you get the starter kit, then of course you will enjoy a discount on your products, somewhere between 20 and 25% ongoing after that. So great deal. It's a really great time to join if you've got a long wish list, or if you'd like to purchase your crafting supplies at a discount. I think that's pretty much it for housekeeping for this for tonight. So there you go. There's our shaker card. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and I was able to share some tips and tricks with you about making shaker cards, so that you're not so scared of making them if you have been avoiding them. Thank you everybody for joining me tonight. I appreciate you popping on. Give me a thumbs up, like my video, share it if you think you've got friends who would enjoy it. That will also help me with my Facebook algorithm. And I would, what am I going to say now? I don't know what I'm going to say now. I think that's it. So also thanks to everybody who's reached out and made inquiries about Matt and how he's travelling. I really appreciate all of your thoughts and prayers. I will see you again next Wednesday, same time, same place. I hope you all have a great week. Stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all again soon. Okay? Bye-bye.